To record a podcast in Audacity, you would probably have a setup like this, where you would have an audio interface with two input lines, a microphone in each of them, and then you would be recording in stereo, and each input line would record a different channel of your stereo track. So the first input line here records the left channel of my stereo track, and then the second input line records the right channel of my stereo track. But you don't want to export your audio like this. You don't want to export a stereo track, because if you do that, then you'll have different audio in each of your ear. Instead, you want to have a nice mono track, so it will give you the same audio in each of the ear. And usually most of the platforms won't allow a stereo track. They will want you to upload a mono track instead. So the way I would go about it is, first of all, you will probably want to edit your tracks. So I would split my stereo track into two different mono tracks, and then I would work on them independently. I would clean them up, I would do some EQ and things like that, and then once you're done, you can make a stereo track again. So you can combine two mono tracks into a single stereo track. Now you can select the stereo track, and you can go to tracks, mix, and mix stereo down to mono. And this way, you'll mix down that stereo track into a single mono track. And now you can export this track. If you export it as a WAV, by default it will be exported as a mono track, and then in most cases, most platforms will require you to export it as MP3, because that's a much smaller size. And here you would have to make sure that this box is clicked. Otherwise it would export it as a stereo track. It wouldn't be too bad, because it would still have the same audio in each of the ear, but it just makes no sense. If you have a mono track like that, you want to export it as mono. So make sure this box is checked, and that's pretty much it. That's how you would export a podcast audio in Audacity.